All right, guys, doing another Masters 25 draft. Been doing a bunch of them. Been really enjoying the format. It's got a lot of nostalgia, lots of fun two-card combos, and you can draft slow, dirtily decks, which are really my bread and butter. I mean, I can, if you've watched my other videos, I can draft aggro if I have to in other formats. But when I don't have to, I find it hard to end up in aggro. I think that aggro decks can be good in this format. I just haven't drafted one yet. Maybe I will one of these days. Maybe this one. But yeah, I've been doing one every day, and that's going to continue for a few more days. Starting next week, I'll probably go back down to, at a minimum, I'm never going to go below 2 drafts a week, but I may go back to that minimum for a while here after that because my sort of break from school and everything, and it will be sort of over, at least temporarily, but yeah. So we'll see. I'm always going to be doing at least 2 a week. Don't have to worry about that. But yeah. Wow. Well, this is a pretty good pack. Well, maybe it's not that good. I mean, it's pretty obviously Courser of Kruphix. It's like a really great source of card advantage. Why is this here? There we go. It's a really great source of card advantage in a sort of a, I think newer players would look at this and not realize that it can give you card advantage, but it does because you get to play lands off the top of your library and get deeper into your deck more quickly. Counterspell, an early Squadron Hawk. I don't hate the idea of starting a draft with one because they do get so good in bunches, but it's definitely the Courser. It's a great card. It also has good stats. I mean, the one downside it has is it dies to enchantment and creature hate, which isn't great. So we have a Kindle here, which is a pretty good removal spell. But there's also a Baloth Null, which is just like ridiculous value. I also like Rancor a lot. I think it's between Kindle, Rancor, and Baloth Null. And I think I want to take the Null. We can even just splash it, and it's great. One copy of Kindle isn't great, but if you have 2, it gets to be pretty solid, and then 3 and 4 is when it can get ridiculous. But I think we take Baloth Null. We could also be a little more safe and take Rancor or Timberpack. We would take Rancor before Timberpack Wolf, but the Null is just crazy strong. So I think it's what we take. Okay, another Kindle, but also a Lightning Bolt. So I think we got to take that. It's pretty crazy. It makes me wonder what was in this pack. There are not a lot of rares even I would take over Lightning Bolt, but there are some. I mean, and Chupacabra was probably the other uncommon. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, we take Lightning Bolt. Yeah, more red stuff, but there's, none of it's great here. Browbeat's pretty horrible, honestly. Pyrehound, I like the card a lot. I had a lot of fun with it in its original format, but it has really disappointed me here. And I know I shouldn't. It's sort of a knee-jerk reaction. I've drafted it twice and just been, destroyed, but still. I think I take Ambassador Oak. I like it a little more than Kavu Climber. Enoch Survivalist is nice because you can play it main board and it actually has a relevant ability like a sideboard card would. Yeah, we take the Oak. Another Kindle. So this will be our first Kindle, and I highly doubt the other ones are going to come back, but I think we jump on this Kindle over Dreadmaw or Defector or any of those things. It would be nice if those Kindles came back to me. So Frenzied Goblin and Crimson Mage are the kind of cards, and Jackal Pup are the kind of cards that can enable a really aggressive deck. And I could think about taking them or not an aggressive deck at this point. Ambassador Oak is good. I mean, I think Goblin's better between the best of the 3 of these. Its ability to make things unable to block is nice. Also means I'm cutting red at least a little bit. Yeah, we'll take him. Maybe we'll be in a red-green aggro deck. It is possible. I would like to splash my Baloth Null. We may find that red's actually not open enough, too. There's potential for that because of the 2 Kindles we passed. My hope is that 2 different people got those Kindles, and so they'll feel less, they'll want to remain in that color a little less. So Path of Peace is good. Certainly not premium. It is a clunky little removal spell. Clunky big removal spell. I think I'd probably take Chartooth Cougar. I like it a little more than the Dreadmaw. It helps me find a red source, which makes it easier to splash potentially. And the Dreadmaw's nice, but I like the Cougar's, the fact that it can cycle a little more. So we'll take the Cougar. Uncaged Fury, Self-Assembler #1, Echoing Courage. I think we probably take Self-Assembler. Certainly not a card you want if we do end up in a more aggressive deck, but it's good. We need 2 for it to really be good. I don't know if you ever really want to play more than 2, but... Question is green actually open enough? Yeah, I mean, I think it is. We keep seeing Ambassador Oaks. I like Skirt Commando and I like Frenzied Goblin, but maybe cutting green is wiser. I don't know. We do have good cards in red, too. I don't know which pile's better anymore. I mean, the Courser is great, but maybe I just take a Commando here who can sneakily do some extra damage to, you know, kill creatures and stuff. Nah, I think I like the Oak more. We did take a Frenzied Goblin over one earlier, but... this can help us splash, potentially. Primal Clay is an okay, like, sideboard card. I think we take the Rugged Prairie and see if we're able to splash it. Mog Flunkies. Okay, so, like, you know, we could be pushing more and more towards an aggressive deck. White Mane Lion's really good white card, but I think we take the Flunkies, and maybe we do play an aggro deck. Of course, Kavu Climber isn't pushing me in that direction. Genjo of the Spires can, but I'd rather have Kavu Climber. I mean, you know, part of the reason I'm more comfortable playing a dirtily value deck than I am a really aggressive deck, especially in this format. Take a Dreadmaw. It doesn't really matter what we take here. Yeah, I mean, we could, though. I mean, this part of our deck, you know, if you just get rid of, like, these, our deck is basically an aggro deck. So we could end up there still. Okay, another Rugged Prairie, but we're not really sure. We're pretty sure we're not splashing. This pack's a weird one for us. Shadow Mage Infiltrator is probably the best card in it. In terms of green and red, though, we don't have much. We have Cinderstorm. Giant Growth's a good trick. Corrosion Colossus. I mean, it's actually a very good trick. If we're a very aggressive deck, we will want it. Like a deck that is this part of our deck and not this part. Although we'd probably leave the Chartooth Cougar in. But is it better than the Colossus? Probably. I mean, it's hard. He's definitely worth it in a deck where you have Cloud Shift. In other decks, he's a little bad. I mean, Giant Growth will see play in any version of this deck that has a lot of creatures, and right now that's where we are. Manowar, Humble Defector, another Jackal Pup. Where are the green cards? So we do have Anax Survivalist and Nettle Sentinel. Maybe I take the Survivalist. The Defector's at its best when you can actually kill it after it draws you the cards and your opponent never gets it. I think I'll take the Survivalist here over another Jackal Pup. Ambassador Oak, Squadron Hawk. This is a Phantom draft, so that's why Chalice of the Void's still in this pack. So we have another Ambassador Oak. We have another Jackal Pup. Those are our primary choices. We do have another Chartooth Cougar, too. Maybe we just want the pup. Maybe we're just going to push aggro here and see what the hell happens. It's kind of looking like that's what the world wants us to do. Vindicate. Here's Cultivate, so... You know, if we don't end up in an aggressive deck, which is still possible, this pack has so much good blue stuff. 2 Merfolk Looters and a Willbender. I mean, I think we take Cultivate. Yeah. And there's another Frenzied Goblin, too, so this is sort of a crossroads. It's like, do I take the card that's really good for my aggressive deck, or do I take the card that's going to be better in a less aggressive version of the deck that probably doesn't run Jackal Pups or Mog Flunkies? I mean, Baloth Null is just so good. I have a hard time saying no to Baloth Null. Okay, we're going to take Cultivate. Okay, so we have 2 Ambassador Oaks, so Stampede Driver could be pretty good. Another Chartooth Cougar. Heavy Arbalest, not for us, but if you have Horseshoe Crabs, it's a good place to go. So if we really are a very aggressive deck, Stampede Driver is good, and it also won't be bad in a less aggressive deck either. So I think I take it over another Chartooth Cougar. Look at all these 1-drops. Another Frenzied Goblin, another Skirt Commando. Okay. Oh yeah, we haven't actually taken a Skirt Commando. I think I take another Goblin. Another Cultivate. There's a Stang. These packs need to make up their minds, man. It's like, you should play an aggressive deck. No, here's Stang. Just kidding. I think we take Stang over another Cultivate. We only need one Cultivate to splash Baloth Null and feel fine about it. Nettle Sentinel and Mog Flunkies are the aggressive cards here. I think I take Mog Flunkies. Okay, so I think we have sort of officially ended up in the more aggressive deck. I'm going to take another Rugged Prairie. Which means probably that this is what we're looking at. And probably not Cultivate either. So here we have another net. We have a Nettle Sentinel. We don't have enough green creatures to love that. I may just take Humble Defector. Maybe we get more green creatures. Yeah, well, I mean, it's green spells. It doesn't have to be creatures. So we'll take the Nettle Sentinel. How about this? I'm drafting an aggro deck. Wildheart Invoker's fine. I wouldn't mind cutting it, but bunch of 1-drops and Mog Flunkies is not a bad way to start. We don't have a ton of removal. We have Lightning Bolt and Kindle, but if we can get some more Giant Growths, they can effectively be removal in this deck. We're leaving this in. I mean, not really ever intending to cast it, but the Mountain Cycling on it is nice. And if we do cast it, it's going to be good. I mean, we could even think about running Sting, too. Just as a top curve, just a couple 6s. It's not terrible. Yeah, white's open. I'll take this Firewalker so no one else gets it. Loyal Sentry. I guess we'll take Presence of Gond, although we're not going to play it. Yeah, we'll see how this thing does. You know, Courser of Kruphix works in an aggro deck too, luckily, so we'll get to play it either way. Kind of doubt it. Ooh, I do like getting a really late one of these, though. I like it a little more than Echoing Truth, or Echoing Courage, which would be fine in our deck. We do have copies of things. Bident of Thassa, Swords to Plowshares. What are you doing to me? So, we do have 2 Rugged Prairies. So, splashing Swords to Plowshares isn't the worst plan. I mean, it is such a good removal spell. I mean, we could take Frenzied Goblin. We could take Woolly Loxodon. We could take Arbor Elf. But this is just really good. I think it's comparable to the rare in this pack. Well, there's 2 rares, but the good rare in this pack. Living Wish could be interesting. If it comes back, like getting like Staying or something in a situation where it's good would be kind of funny. But yeah, I think we use our 2 Rugged Prairies and we splash this Swords. How many 1-drops can we have? Whew. Okay, there's another Stang, Chartooth Cougar, but yeah, we just take another Swords. We may... Does this shift our deck? It could actually shift our deck to being more controlling all of a sudden, too, and less of an aggro deck. We could go back to where we were. Which is a place where we're probably not playing Jackal Pups, Nettle Sentinel, or Mog Flunkies, but the other stuff basically stays the same. Another Baloth Null. Chandra's Outrage. I mean, I think splashing Swords is better than splashing Baloth Null if we do end up back in the control of your deck. Zada, it could be good. We actually only have one way of pumping her now for the more aggressive deck. It's either Chandra's Outrage or Self-Assembler number 2. I think it's probably the Outrage. And I think there's another Kindle. I think we take that over Balduvian Horde. So I think we have officially... There's also a Broodhatch Nantuko and a Crozen Tusker, actually. We do have the 2 swords now, and this helps us splash even better. So, yeah. Okay. So, our deck has now... Oh, man, Mog Flunkies, I'm sorry. But you're not going to be able to be that good in this deck. And the Jackal Pups are gone. Stampede Driver might stay. Nettle Sentinel and Giant Growth probably don't. Here we can take Epic Confrontation. Oh, we haven't actually put the cards back in that are going to come back in. I was like, this doesn't seem like enough cards. We could take Tekken Self-Assembler, but Epic Confrontation is removal. Lightning. Could we go really crazy and just splash black too? I don't know. I do feel like our shift here was kind of late. So if we go back to this deck, we also get Cultivate back, Kavu Climber, Colossal Dreadmaw. Yeah, maybe Echoing Courage or Plummet for the sideboard. Echoing Courage will be better. I mean, this would be good in a more aggressive deck, but I think we've been pushed out of it by the swords. But I think I will take the Crimson Mage. Zada, Pyrehound, Wildheart Invoker. Trumpet Blast. If we had a bunch of Hordeling Outbursts. I think we take Zada. Again, if we end up in that more aggressive deck. Okay, I like Ember Weaver. That's good in either version of the deck we end up in. Okay, Arbor Elf, I think is what we take here if we are in fact a more aggressive deck. And we already have 2 Frenzied Goblins anyway. I mean, if we're in fact the rampier, slower deck. Yeah. Okay, Self-Assembler number 2. Might play both. Almost ended up in an aggro deck. I mean, and we're still going to consider it when we're looking at the possibilities here in a moment. Honestly, I think we have enough fixing. We could even splash Baloth Null if we wanted to. Self-Assembler number 3. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play 3, but I mean, Frenzied Goblin's a lot less good in a less aggressive deck too. Here we'll take a Horde. I mean, we're picking up the stuff to make a aggro deck work. This will be an interesting deck building time. I think we can splash both black and white effectively thanks to Cultivating Crows and Tusker if we are the... we can actually build more than one deck, which is nice. So I think that's what we're going to do. I don't normally do this, but... So we need to cut a few things if this is what we want to be our deck. I think I probably only want 2 Self-Assemblers. I think I cut Stampede Driver. Probably a Frenzied Goblin. And maybe Wildheart Invoker. And then we put in the 2 Prairies. This is like the more mid-rangey version. Yeah, 1 Swamp, 1 Plains. Yeah, I mean, I guess we do want more forests because they can fetch us our... We have 2 different cards that can fetch the others, so that's fine. So this is like our red-green mid-range. We could side into a different deck, potentially, which is kind of funny. Save and continue. So, like, if we play against an opponent, and then red-green aggro, if we play against an opponent who's, like, incredibly slow, then we can turn into this deck, which is completely different. Mog Flunkies, Skirk Commando, probably 1 Zada, probably Valdovian Horde, Chandra's Outrage, Cougar, probably still Arbor Elf, but I'll think about that. Nettle Sentinel, Giant Growth, Stampede Driver, Survivalist, Confrontation, Ember Weaver, Courser, and both Ambassadors. Yeah, and that would be this deck. The question is whether we try to splash Swords to Plowshares in this deck. And the problem is, yeah, even with Two Rugged Prairies is nice. So I probably, but the problem is, this deck doesn't want to be running crap like Crows and Tusker or Cultivate. It just wants to be smashing. So, yeah, it'll just put in Assembly Worker, but so Zada works really well with Epic Confrontation and with Giant Growth, and I think that's probably enough. So yeah, this is like red-green aggro. We have the basic lands. I don't think we splash. I think we just are all about smashing face. I think we go to 9/8 because of Chartooth Cougar. So we have two different decks. I think this one, I mean, this is definitely the one that I favor. This is the one I'm going to have the most fun with because it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I think this is where I go. I mean, I think it's more powerful than the other one, thanks in large part to the swords, thanks to being able to just splash Baloth, Null on the two swords, and play the grindier cards that draw us cards and stuff. I like it. I like this one more, but it is worth keeping in mind that we can shift into an aggressive deck against certain opponents, like someone who's incredibly slow, but this deck can't really kill quickly. And they can go even bigger and get more value even than we can in the late game. We probably think about just siding straight into the aggro deck and trying to kill them before they can do any of their nonsense. So, all right, this looks like our deck. I will see you guys in the first match. All right, going into the first match. Is this hand a keep? You know, I think it is. It's not an incredible hand or anything because obviously we have 2 6-drops. This will probably use to grab another mountain. We also don't have white mana, but we do have some early interaction in Kindle, and I think that makes it keepable. You have to hope we draw somewhat well. But, you know, what are you going to do? Could have mulligan, but a mulligan hand I don't think would have been significantly better. Okay, drawing all our big guys. We do have several of them, but this is where I wish I had... Ooh, Reshot Import. They're going to be mean to our mana base. Okay. That's bad news for our mana base, too, because we're splashing 2 different colors. So they'll be able to lock us off of them pretty easily. Wow, we only have 2 mountains left in our deck. We're set for mountains. I'll tell you that much. Alright, so they're going to tap something down. Yeah, that is my only green mana, so not a bad plan. Hey, white mana. Yeah, we'll play it. That way we have Swords to Plowshares up, though I highly doubt we want to play it. Yeah, so we're just going to kill their guys and then play some of our big guys. Ooh, they're just going to Reshot Import us again. Okay. Sure. Yep, take away our forest. More removal. End our turn. Would be nice if we could play something, but what are you going to do? Watch Wolf. Yeah. He is sizable. Might just fire off Chandra's Outrage here in response to Reshot Import. Yeah. Courser of Kruphix. So we could use another forest. But we can play Sting or Dreadmon next turn, depending on what our opponent does. I think our deck likes that our opponent hasn't really done anything. Okay, well, we can kindle that when the time comes. In fact, it'll probably come this turn because it looks like they're going to tap down our forest yet again. Yeah. Okay. We'll just kindle this. End our turn. We need double green. What's funny is we have more forests than anything, but they don't seem to be willing to help us. Our forests. Okay. Ugh. Oh, not good. That Rishadenport is really screwing us over. If we could just draw a forest, like Emberweaver could block Geist of the Moors forever. Looks like we're going to take 3 to the face here. Yeah, if we draw another forest, we can play Sting, we can play Colossal Dreadmaw. There's a lot of options. Ooh. We really need to get that Emberweaver out there. So 2 more Squadron Hawks. I'll play another one. Continue to leave up Rishadenport. This is the first time I've actually had this card like do something to me. Usually it's just like, okay, that's cool. But in this case, because we only have 1 forest and our deck is predominantly green, it is a big problem. Probably draw Cultivate before we draw. Hey! Okay, so do we play Sting or do we play something like Emberweaver who can actually block everything? I think we play Sting. And we can leave up Swords to Plowshares in the meantime. Sting gives us a threat on the board, so that's something my opponent has to think about. Still have 1 more Squadron Hawk in their hand, so they're planning on trying to kill us in the air. Emberweaver will be good. For sure against that. So we were just missing black. We got everything else without really trying, although getting a second forest was like pulling teeth, but we got there. That's especially obnoxious in a hand that has Courser of Kruphix and Colossal Dreadmaw in it. Okay, we'll take the 5. Another Squadron Hawk. Okay. Interesting. So now what do you tap down? It's not nearly as useful for you to tap things down, except for that I do need double green for 2 cards in my hand. But, you know, that's okay. Okay, we don't have black for him yet. So we're going to attack with both Sting tokens. Drops your opponent to 12, and then we'll play Emberweaver. See if they have an answer for his nonsense. Still have mana up for swords. So if they have removal, this will be when they use it. Because Emberweaver is a nuisance for them. If they have a trick or something, luckily we can swords in response. But if it's straight up removal, we're in pretty big trouble. Okay, well, let's do that. And I have to do that now or we're dead, so. Because it would make these all 3/3s. So if we do this, we're looking at 5 damage instead of 15. So which would be 12 lethal to us, so. What do they have up their sleeve that they're thinking about using? White main line, okay. I'm okay with that. As long as the Echoing Courage doesn't completely destroy me, I'm pretty okay with it. It may mean that they don't attack now, because they can, of course, block the Sting token and kill both Stings. Damn. Okay. Fine. You get to hit me for 5. Okay. That looks pretty good for us. God, I wish I could do more, but I really can't. All the double green. Okay. And the lack of black. So Sting's gonna punch this guy in the face. I don't really think we can attack. Maybe we can. If we attack, yeah, I mean, they can't. Oh no, they can kill the twin. Yeah, and being able to block the guys on the ground does actually matter. Alright, we need black mana so we can play Baloth Null and get back our Ember Weaver. Alright, we go to 5. The art on these is really cool because it looks like they're both standing next to each other. Okay, yeah, we really... They're probably going to port us here, which sucks. Because all the double green in our hand. Maybe not. Don't do it. Damn it. Ooh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, we can't play the Null and play Ember Weaver. But I think we still play him. We're not dead yet this turn. We're just very close. Very, very close. Yeah, there's no way for us to leave up 3 mana, so play our Baloth Null. Get back Ember Weaver and Chartooth Cougar. So, oh, we are dead here, actually, aren't we? No, 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 because we can block all the creatures on the ground. We go to 2 here, which is still probably enough for us to be dead next turn, even if we replay Ember Weaver. They should have printed Echoing Decay, because they decided to put so many of these Collect Them All cards in here. I think it would have made the format more balanced, because Squadron Hawk is nasty. I wish I had an Echoing Decay. So our mana actually seems fine. We had some bad luck with our forests. A, because we only hit 2 of them, and B, because we ran into an opponent who has Rishadan Port, and they kept us off for double green, and we never got to play cards we would have played easily otherwise. Ooh, now I think we're dead. So we take 3 in the air, we block 2 of these, and yeah, we take 2. So no Lightning Bolt in our hand. All right, that did not go super well. I mean, some things felt pretty good, but yeah, we didn't have much of a sideboard. Part of the downside of sort of jumping all over the place. The option we have is just like turning into a straight aggro deck, which against an opponent with doing reshot and board things could be good. Like if we're just like Frenzied Goblin, Mog Flunkies, Ember Weaver, Balduvian Horde. I mean, it's tempting, but I think we stick with this. So yeah, we have 8 forests. We've only got 5 mountains, and we drew like all of them. Of course, we mountain cycled for one of them, but still. And we drew our plains, and we drew our swamp, which was good. It was nice to get those, and we didn't have to cast Cultivate or Krosan Tusker. But that was definitely a weird game, mana-wise. I mean, we could think about another reason to switch to the aggro deck is its mana is going to be more consistent. So if we run into the port again, it's not going to kill us as hard. But honestly, in that game, it wouldn't have killed us so hard either if we just had a second forest early, you know, and then could get a third one at some point, or Arbor Elf, or Cultivate, or Krosan Tusker. I mean, it was especially advantageous for them in that game, and I don't think that's going to happen again. Could be wrong, but I don't think it will. I would like to play first. Okay, I think this is a keep. We don't have red mana, but we can play a turn 2 Courser of Kruphix. And that sounds pretty great to me. Especially if it'll help us find more lands. Most likely anyway. So yeah, turn 1 Arbor Elf. Okay, we could also Cultivate, but I think playing the Courser is better because it gives us some board presence and it sets us up to gain life. So go Courser. We do have to show them what's on top of our library. In this case is a Krosan Tusker. These days they try to make it so these are like one-sided. You know, you get to look at the top card of your library, but your opponent doesn't in the last few blocks. Because it is kind of, you know, a downside when your opponent can see what's going on in your hand. Okay, so do we Cultivate or do we Krosan Tusker? I think we Cultivate because it can do more for us. So we'll untap this forest. It's also going to shuffle our library, which may actually give us a land we can play off the top. So Cultivate. Definitely get a mountain. And I guess plains, since we have more sources of, yeah, so let's get a swamp instead. We have more sources of white. Of course, we also have more, but we still have Krosan Tusker in our hands, so I think we'll be okay. Okay, Kavu Climber is what's on top now. So we'll put this onto the battlefield tapped. And play this for our turn. So we have Lightning Bolt up. And the Courser's going to get in there. playing turn 2 Courser should help us a lot. See if it does. See if it does. It's a pretty big upgrade. We can play this Kavu Climber the turn we draw it, which is nice, thanks to Arbor Elf. So probably Lightning Bolt that Watch Wolf at the end of their turn. Yeah, that's what we're going to do for sure. All right. Wow, we just cannot get a land on top of our library, huh? Oh. Okay. Well, she did some work. So we're going to play Kavu Climber here. So staying is what we drew. No surprise there. Yeah, we never got to get a land out of Courser. It gained us 3 life, I guess. That is a thing. Okay, we're not too far from Baloth Null. Unfortunately, they swordsed our poor guy. So, all right. So Kavu Climber is going to attack. I'm cool with that trade. All right. Apparently, they're not cool with it. So should we Tusker at the end so we can play Frenzied Goblin? I think we do that. And yeah, we'll cast Krosan Tusker at the end of their turn, or cycle it to search up another land. Doesn't matter which, really. Probably get another mountain, I guess. Yeah. I wonder if I should have left one of these in this less aggressive version of the deck, or if I should have gone just like taking him out for something. He's good in any, I mean, he's definitely at his best in an aggro deck, but he definitely creates problems in any deck, you know, so. This guy is sweet when you cycle him, though, because it's not like land cycling. You get to search your library for a basic land, and you also get to draw a card, which is kind of a lot, comparatively. So they're going to slap us for 3. Feels good. I mean, searching up a mountain could be a good idea, because then we can use the Frenzied Goblin's ability and like play a card in our hand. Okay, so we're going to cycle Krosan Tusker. So we can play Enoch Survivalist and blow up that equipment. That might be what we do. Yeah, we'll get another mountain. Ooh. Ooh. That was a nice series of draws there, I think. Okay, I think here's what my plan is. Let's play, so we're leaving mana up so that we could cast Ember Weaver potentially, or Epic Confrontation potentially. Yeah, so play this face down. I could make this unable to block. Yeah, I guess we do, because I can still Epic Confrontation right now. So do they kill it with Squadron Hawk? Yeah, that's fine. Let's get these things out of the way. And then, we'll cast Epic Confrontation and kill this. And end our turn. So we have 2 creatures we can get back with our Baloth Null if we play it. One is the Tusker, one is the Goblin. We can blow up this Sai if our Morph is allowed to stay in play. That is. I'm not ultra concerned about it right now. Maybe I should be, but the fact that I can spend 2 to kill it and make this into a 3/2 at some point is pretty nice. Another Geist. Do they move the side to the Geist? No. Do they attack us? No. That's what I thought. Man. Now, that's a good reason to get back Crows and Tusker with our Baloth Null. So, I think we attack with the Climber and the Survivalist. Face down Survivalist. I'm hoping they block this, because it can be... Oh, they did. Okay. All right. This is going to be... hilarious. We blow up their equipment and our survivalist survives, and that does not, I mean, it is a survivalist, right? So maybe it should survive. And we don't actually have a red permanent in place, so our Ember Weaver is not going to be as sweet as it can be, but I think that's still what we play. They're stuck on 3, so hopefully our deck can win this game, you know? Another Geist. They have 1,000 Geists. So we're going to Kindle him. And so we have 4 mana. We can't really do anything with 4 mana. So everyone's going to get in there, even the Arbor Elf. Drops them to 6. Sting makes this into a 3/3 with first strike. So that's worth keeping in mind when we do play Sting. Baloth Null can get us back. Crows and Tusker, which can get us white mana. And, you know, something else. Probably just Kavu Climber. I mean, the Goblin wouldn't be bad since our opponent can't keep a creature on the battlefield right now. Angelic Page. And Pacifism. Yeah, okay. Well, we drew white anyway. How about that? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sting is probably better to play. Either way, we're attacking with the Survivalist right now. They're going to go to 3. I mean, maybe the Null is better to play. Getting back... Yeah, let's play the Null. Get back the Tusker. And I guess Frenzied Goblin is actually, like I said, pretty good. The Tusker I want back just because it's a big, scary creature and we can actually cast it right now, so... So we can Swords any major problem out of the way and just keep swinging. All right. They had no reshot in port and they got stuck on 3 for forever, so it was good news for us. Yeah. Deck is fun, I mean, that's for sure, and that is important, especially in a format like this one that's sort of about nostalgia. Splashing all sorts of silly old cards. Well, Sting's old. The other one's not so old. Baloth Null's from like Battle for Zendikar or something. So yeah, this hand's a keep. We have Mountain Cycling. I mean, I wish I had Plain Cycling a little bit, but what are you going to do? And we have Ember Weaver and Ambassador Oak, so that's good. So we can't kill that with Kindle, unfortunately. So I think we'll probably just be taking 3 from it this turn. And then land cycling Chartooth Cougar. So yeah, here comes 3 to our face. All right, we will Kindle that at the end of their turn. Okay, and we'll play Ember Weaver, who right now can't rumble with that, but it can later potentially. And Ambassador Oak can, so we'll take 3. Another Geist. Okay. Yeah, I think we play our Oak here. And just end our turn. Definitely I think I just trade the Oak and trade the Ember Weaver. Opponent's deck actually is an aggro deck. I mean, the Reshot Port thing made it seem like it's not, so I think our deck actually has a good matchup against them for the most part, because we have so many value cards. Like, if they can't kill us early, you know. So, I think I trade. It would be nice to hold on to him until he gets first strike, but if they have a trick, then that's fine too. Yeah, I mean, they do. Squadron Hawk, God. Okay. Well, I think we attack with our Oak and then play another one. And then we'll leave up mana for Lightning Bolt, even though we don't have it. They know we have it in our deck, though, so could make them play a little differently. We're not that far from being able to just cast Chartooth Cougar. Since we've had stuff to do every turn, I haven't seen a reason to do it because we used Kindle on the end of turn 2 and so forth. So, but they do have flying damage coming our way, which is not great. We currently don't have a way to put an end to that. Yeah, they just... all these Squadron Hawks really give you problems. Okay, so... I mean, everybody has flying over there, so I'm just going to attack with both our Ambassador Oaks again. Might just be dead. Squadron Hawk is just so good. All right, they're gonna trade. Take 3. I think it's going to be more useful to play him face down, because if we can get in for damage with it, we actually get to destroy one of these stupid flyers. But they are about to drop me to 4, so it doesn't, not sure it really matters. Should I play a face-up Anok Survivalist too? 3, 5, 6, 7. No, I mean, it won't make much of a difference. I'll just Mountain Cycle at the end of their turn. These flyers are gonna get me. Boom. Knock me to 4. Do they have another Echoing Courage? Nope, not yet. If we can get through with this morph, we can kill the Geist at least, and then we still have one more turn. Baloth, no, you jerk. Oh, I forgot to... if I'd remembered to Mountain Cycle, that might have actually mattered. Okay, so we attack with everything. Get in there. Alright, so we're going to unmorph this. If they kill it, we're dead. If they don't kill it, we get to kill Geist of the Moors and live for another turn. These are the possibilities. I'm thinking they must have a way to kill it. And they should if they do. Because giving me one more turn, especially if I'm dropping them to 7 here, it's kind of a problem for them. I mean, I don't know what they have in their hand. They may have like Echoing Truth in their hand and they don't really care if I kill their Geist, but... I mean, if I had Mountain Cycled, I still would have attacked with the command. Yeah, they kill it, so that means we die. We still have... No, yeah, we're dead. Well, we lost that first match. I think our deck is sweet. It was a lot of fun. Did a lot of silly things, but... Obviously, we didn't get there. We did win one game, at least, so hopefully we can do a little better in our next match. All right, we would like to play first here in our second match. We have no green in this hand, which is a little weird, but I think it's okay otherwise. I mean, we can cast our swords. We'll draw green probably. Of course, we did have one game where we weren't that lucky, but we do have one drop that we'll get in for some damage, hopefully. Some removal. I mean, even if we don't draw a force, at least we can play Self-Assembler, right? I mean, I think I attack and don't even use... I mean, if they want to block with Arbor Elf, I'm all for it, so... We'll make himself unable to block. We're not going to pay the 1. They're not going to block. So... The question is, do we bolt the bird, or in this case, swords the elf? I don't think so. Interesting. I haven't seen a lot of people... God. Haven't seen a lot of people playing Vessel of Nascency, so... Double Arbor Elf is a little scary. Now, question is, do I kill them? I don't think so. Hey, there's a forest. That's good. I think we attack again and just say, if you want to lose one of your elves, we are cool with that. So we got all our colors without even trying this game. I don't think an elf is blocking. We'll get in for 1. So they have a ton of mana over there. The reason I don't want to use swords on them, and maybe I should, maybe I'm wrong, but I can kill basically anything they ramp into with swords. If I had Lightning Bolt or Kindle, obviously I would fire those off on these things, but swords is so much stronger than either of those are. Let's see what they have for us. On turn, with their 5 mana on turn 3. Kavu Climber. Okay, I'm not ultra worried about that either. I think we just go ahead and cycle. And we need double green at some point. So that's what we'll grab. Damn it, we drew both our self-assemblers. It's not the way you want it to go. Okay. So we're going to cultivate and grab mountain forest. Leave mana up for swords and end our turn. They're probably running Baloth Null in their deck too. Murder and Woolly Loxodon. This doesn't let them return. Yeah, so they got the Loxodon there. Okay, so I think I'm going to Swords that. God, I wish I had not both my self-assemblers in my hand. So we're going to take 3. Swords this. And it is the Woolly Loxodon, so I'm happy about that. Ugh. Okay. Well, we're going to play our self-assembler who doesn't search us up anything because we already have one in our hand, the other one in our hand. But it is a pretty good blocker here. I think we attack with our Goblin because we are always willing to trade for one of those Arbor Elves. All right, get it for 1. Is this going to be scary? I mean, yeah. Would have been nice to use Swords on that, even more so, but... Okay. Well, we have the tools to dirtle for a while. That's for sure. So play our Oak. Get a 1/1. And end our turns. We do have another Swords, of course. It's no fun. No fun. All right, we'll trade with the Climber and take 6. So we can get back Ambassador Oak and the Tusker. Tusker is not big enough to block and survive Twisted Abomination either, unfortunately. So I'm going to attack with this Elf Warrior here. And yeah, I'm going to play the Baloth Null. I think Oak and Tusker is better than a self-assembler. And we'll end our turn. At some point I need to start chump blocking this thing. I don't think I'm at that point still, though. Though if they have Laquatus as champion, this is going to be hilarious. Because I'll be at 6 exactly. So let's hope they don't. No, doesn't look like they do, which is good for us. Hey, there we go. That really is going to give us a chance to get back in this thing. Do I just attack with everything now that I have a Swords ready to roll? Plus I can play Ambassador Oak. I think that seems pretty reasonable. We're not going to bother with this ability, though. We're still like, yeah, we'll trade for your Arbor Elves. Although, the Frenzied Goblin could get a lot better in a later game, but... Yeah, so they are going to kill him. They would have been able to kill him either way, though. He would have made the elf unable to block, but it wouldn't have really mattered. Maybe we just play the Tusker here instead of Ambassador Oak. Double block. Damn. I was going to say, you're real concerned. I haven't even used his ability once. He has done all the damage to you so far, though. If they use a trick or something to kill the goblin, I don't think I really care. Although, you'd think they'd block both of these and then use like Echoing Courage. That would kind of suck, but I wouldn't be that worried. Okay, so you guys are going to kill each other. I'm going to go to 13. I'm going to play a land and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think we just play the Tusker. Gives us another big beater. The Oak is nice. I guess maybe I play the Oak to be if I want to be a little safer, but the Swords is going to save me either way. So, yeah. Even if they have murder or something, I'm okay. Okay. I think we declare the block on the Abomination first, because if we can make them spend 1 black mana on nothing, that doesn't hurt. So they did just draw a bunch more cards, which isn't great news for us. Sort of catches them back up after our Baloth Null did his thing. But disfigure? Okay. You're planning on... That's really interesting, because you don't have black mana up anymore. Epic Confrontation. Okay, well, sorry. But hey, you gained some life back. We got a 3-for-1 there, thanks to the Disfigure and the Epic Confrontation. So, pretty happy about that. Okay, we don't need to use ours yet. I think we save it for later time. In the meantime, we just rumble in there with all these guys. One of the big guys is probably going to get chump blocked. Wow. 6, 10, 11. Okay. We go to 4. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we can actually play the Assembler and the Ambassador Oak. What's the chance our opponent has like Living Death or something? That's the question. And what would we get back right now? A Frenzied Goblin and a Self-Assembler. And they'd get back a whole stack of crap. Well, I'm going to play the Oak. But yeah, that if they have Living Death right now, we're going to cry. So, just so you know. Though if they really had it, they probably would have blocked. Although, unless they're trying to bluff. I said, because if they blocked, then they would get back everything. Okay, Dusk Legion Zealot. That's a good sign that they don't have Living Death. Drawing that second Swords was very important. Zulaport Cutthroat. You are quite annoying, sir. But I think we win now. They could have Murder or whatnot, but I think we try to go for... Because of the risk of a card like Murder, I'd rather make my Elf Warrior fight the Cutthroat. So if I get 2-for-1, it's not going to hurt as bad. That way these guys, the bigger guys, can all attack pretty safely. And we are at 6, so making sure we don't lose more life. Supernatural Stamina, okay. It comes back tapped, doesn't it? It'll drop. Yeah, so it comes back tapped. Yes. I think you're still dead. You can drop me to 3. But let's see what else they have. That cutthroat does complicate things, certainly. All right, so they're not going to die. We're going to go to 3. Oh, no, they are going to die because the trigger happens. Yeah, good. That's good because that would have made things much more painful. I think we stick with this thing again. You know, it is hard for me to want to say, yeah, let's switch to an aggro deck when I have this mass of ridiculous cards. I mean, there are definitely scenarios where we probably should do it, but I haven't seen a clear one yet, and maybe I'm really biased, but, you know. Tell you what, I mean, you know, I frequently will we took these in the late pack, and I frequently do that, and I'm like, you know, maybe we'll splash something, and this is like the 1 in 20 times where that actually pays off, because in the third pack we got back-to-back Swords to Plowshares, and it was like, all right, let's do this. And that is what, in the end, pushed us towards this deck, because a more aggressive deck doesn't want to be casting Cultivate or running, you know, Crows and Tusker, really. Even splashing is not awesome. Because you want to have the mana to cast your stuff every turn and just curve out. You can't really afford not to. So. Okay, this is a good one. We don't have the black mana yet, but you know we do have our turn 1 Arbor Elf, which will help us ramp into stuff should we draw stuff. Might get disfigured right away. No. Okay. I think we just end the turn. I probably Mountain Cycle. I mean, thinning out our deck a little bit, increasing the chances that we draw actual spells doesn't seem too bad. Sure, I can cast this later, but I have a Dreadmaw too, so. And I have Baloth Null in my hand, so I can just get it back later. They're going to do to us what we were doing to them, where it's like, they're not going to block with their Arbor Elf. And they are correct. Fierce Empath. Woolly Loxodon. Okay, so we're going to Mountain Cycle. Grab a mountain. Staying. Okay, well, we're drawing all our 6 drops. Getting there. Sort of. So the Loxodon, when it morphs, is even bigger than our Dreadmaw. So we need to draw... Ideally, we need to draw some removal for him. Doesn't look like they're playing him face down this turn. And yeah, they're going to attack us again, because again, we're not blocking with our Arbor Elf. Hey, another creature. So yeah, we're at 5 mana now, still not quite enough. Frenzied Goblin is really late to the party, but he's here. Question is, do I play Sting or Dreadmaw? Sting, yeah. So they're already at 5 mana, so they play that guy face down now. They can flip him next turn, which is just great. We'll take 2 again. But, okay. I was going to say, but I could triple block it and take it down. I hope they don't have Murder in their hand. If they do, playing Sting is going to be ugly. I mean, not really. When you think about it, it's not any uglier than playing Colossal Dreadmaw and it getting murdered. Yeah, which one are we playing? I think Stang. Stang has a better ability to stop make them stop the attacks. I mean, yeah, if they have a way of killing one of the Stang tokens, they both die. But if I played the Dreadmaw, that would be true too. But this can actually provide 2 blocks, so it's a little better in that sense. And we'll end our turn. The Dreadmaw can only provide 1 block, and this can block everything that's out right now, assuming they don't have a trick or murder or anything like that. So we had an incredibly slow start. So slow. Yeah. Bye, Stings. You tried. 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll go to 8. Baloth, null mana. Give me a swamp. Play their morph. Ooh. So I can kindle the morph, but then I can't do anything else if I do that. But I guess that's okay. Yeah, we can just chump block things. So I'm going to kindle the morph. We knew it was Woolly Loxodon. But then we just have to end our turn, and we can block 2 of these 1/1s and trade and go to 4, and then play Colossal Dreadmaw next turn. Or if we're really lucky, play Baloth Null. Yeah, so let's block this guy and this guy. We go to 4. Okay. That means we gotta play the Dreadmaw and hope they can't murder it. If they can, we're just dead. Two Rivals of Ixalan cards facing off here. That makes it lethal no matter how I block. Sweet. Okay, on to game 3. Supernatural Stamina, man. Do we want this deck? I mean, their deck does seem especially slow. I did just realize, well, I realized it before actually, because I made a Zada EDH deck once. Epic Confrontation doesn't actually work with her. Because it targets more than one thing. Like, they were just had such a slow start in that game, and if we'd started the game with an aggressive curve, we definitely would have killed them before they could do anything. Or probably, anyway. We also had pretty horrible luck in that we drew all of these guys. And less of these. But still. Which deck? Nah, I still think it's this one. We just have such better removal in this deck. It's hard to say no to. I would like to play first. And this is another slow one, but it's also another keep, I think. We've got our best removal spell. We have everything but black, too. So that's good. Chartooth Cougar will fetch us another land, too. You're going to play Arbor Elf. They might. They just might. It's interesting they're thinking so much about it, if that's what their plan is. I mean, yeah, I could have Lightning Bolt. I don't think they've seen it yet, though. We do have one. They've seen Kindle. There's that Arbor Elf. Figured it would be coming. If I had a bolt, I would kill Arbor Elf with it, but I don't. Okay. We're going to end our turn, and at least we have a 3-drop now. An Ember Weaver. We will Mountain Cycle Chartooth Cougar at the end of their turn. Probably should have played a Plains here just in case something crazy happens and I wanted to Swords a creature, but it's incredibly unlikely, so it's not a huge deal. But that would be the bet. That would be the optimal play, you know. So if they have a 1-lander, it is a lot more tempting to fire off that Swords. I think we got to do it. If we can find a way to slow them down substantially. We drew Courser of Kruphix. Vessel of Nathan's, you can get them a land, right? Yeah. Huh. If I hadn't drawn something as strong as the Courser, I would have Swords, but I think we just want to play our Courser and try to get as ahead as we can. And the Courser can help us do that. Next turn we can play Ember Weaver and Swords if there's, especially if they whiff with their Vessel. So that's what to keep in mind. But I think, you know, we are still taking advantage of the fact that they don't have more than 1 land by playing Courser, because it's a 3-mana card and it's going to run away with the game if they can't do anything about it. So I think it's the right play. Seems like they're playing Distracted now. There we go. So unfortunately we already played a land, so we can't rip that one off the top of our library. The thing that is a little dangerous about deciding to kill something with a bird or an Arbor Elf with Swords is the fact that, especially when they're mana screwed, is that at any time they could draw the land that they need. Yeah, see, I mean, even if we had Cultivated, they would have only been, Swords, they would have only been 1 mana away from Arbor Elf, from Cultivate, I mean. And they would have been able to crack their Vessel because they drew a Swamp anyway, so it's a dangerous game sometimes. Okay, so we're going to play this Forest off the top of our library. Yeah. I'm not super desperate to like cast Swords right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. But that essentially just drew us a card is the way to look at it. So we'll attack. And then we'll play Ember Weaver and end our turn. So we're about to draw another Forest. Probably cast Self-Assembler this turn, unless something really scary comes to the party right here. It's going to look for something scary. That's much less scary than actually something scary, so. Twisted Abomination. I'm glad we didn't use our Swords now, I can tell you that. Dusk Legion Zealot, okay. Still lets us attack with all of our creatures. And then our Self-Assembler will just be there. You know, their creatures can't attack through it right now. And then when they play Twisted Abomination, we can Swords it. So we're in good shape, I think. Our Courser, you know, has basically already drawn us 1 card. I'd be happy if we didn't have another land under this one, but the good news is she does, you know, we would have had that land anyway, and the Courser helps us get past all these lands by letting us play them off the top of their library. All right. It is another land. All right, well, we will play it. And there's our only swamp, but I think it's okay to shuffle it away. We'll attack with both of our creatures. Right? Get in for... We're going to let them gain 5 life off of... Yeah, so we'll play Self-Assembler off of swords anyway, so we need to get in damage while we can. Grab our other Self-Assembler. Still a land on top. Damn. I'm guessing it's Twisted Abomination time. Ah, the Ancient Craving time. Okay. I'm cool with that. Wouldn't mind, like, staying, but we know we're going to draw a forest, so... God, Broodhatch Nantuko is a piece of annoying. Might have to use our swords on that, which I really don't want to do. Okay, we could use a lightning bolt instead, apparently, but... Like... It still gives them 3 insect tokens if that's what we do. I'm thinking of attacking with the Courser and the Ember Weaver still. A couple insect tokens. It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and play this first so we can gain the life that we might not gain otherwise. And yeah, we'll attack with both of these. So 2 insect tokens. I'm pretty happy if that's what all they end up with. Okay. And we cast our other Self-Assembler. We definitely don't want to shuffle our library here. No, because we want to draw that lightning bolt. What's sweet is, I mean, it's not going to happen, I don't think. I don't think they have to do it. But if they don't leave black up, we can obviously just bolt Twisted Abomination. If they don't play Twisted Abomination here, we can seriously consider Swords to Plowsharing Broodhatch Nantuko and just bashing with everything. They know we're drawing a lightning bolt, which is good information for them to have, but it's also the kind of information that you've grown about. It's not like, oh good, they're drawing a lightning bolt. It's like, so I can sort of play around this lightning bolt, but I'm also at 6 life, for one thing. For another, it can kill all of my creatures. So it is not fun to have to see a lightning bolt. They're thinking hard about what they should do. I think they should cast another Ancient Craving, personally. But that's just me. That's a good play because it makes it so my Ember Weaver and my Courser of Kruphix aren't really able to attack anymore. Unless I bolt the Oak, which I might do. Yeah. They can crack their vessel. They might be doing something more sinister, too. Oh my god. We need flyers. Our deck just doesn't have any of those. More removal though. That's good news. Okay. Do we just stop attacking now? It's not like I can't block the insect tokens, you know? I think I attack with one of my self-assemblers. Yeah, so they'll get 4 insect tokens. But that's really not the end of the world. Sure, they can chump block forever, but it's not a huge deal. Got more removal on top of our library, which won't hurt. We never saw these guys until this match. Okay, so there's a good chance that that's Woolly Loxodon. I don't know that we've seen another morph. So, do I just bolt it? Yeah, let's just bolt it. If it's another Brood Hatch Nantuko, it costs 3 to flip, but it still could be what it is. Ooh, they're gonna blow up one of my self-assemblers. That hurts. That hurts my soul. Okay. Hey, there's black mana. Commando. See, now we're showing them things I really don't want to show them. Yeah, I guess we kill the oak. And we end our turn. If I play this face up, it might actually be better right now because it would make this a 3/3 with first strike. Which would actually be a really good blocker against the Abomination. Because they have to regenerate it. It would never do its combat damage. Uh-oh. Yeah, we knew they had this. This is one of their only payoffs for going as wide as they have. We might have to think about swordsing him at some point. Especially if they play like a Phyrexian Ghoul or something. Then we're like... yeah, we should probably cast swords on that. All right. Okay. I mean, they know what it is, most likely, but because we have so much mana, I think it's actually kind of worth playing him face down. And we'll end our turn. So this is probably a Woolly Loxodon. Most likely. Wouldn't mind my Ambassador Oaks. Alright, no attacks. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I think we still just leave that face down for now. Okay. Well, we're not going to have any problems with mana. And this is a 3/3 with first strike now, which is nice. Surprised they haven't cracked their vessel yet. Unmorph Woolly Loxodon, yeah. Sure. I'm not super afraid of him at this point. So if we draw Cultivate, and the top card of our library isn't a land, we cultivate, and then maybe we're lucky enough that the top card of our library is a land, because we shuffle it. No. Okay, we got to do it. Got to hold on to that Courser if we can. Does put them back up to 12, but it also gets rid of their biggest threat while not making my Courser dead. I think that's a good deal. There's the Abomination, but like I said, Emberweaver can block it all day, and it has to regenerate, never gets to do the combat damage, so at least for now. Okay, even though we have Chandra's Outrage on top of our library, and that wouldn't be bad, it also wouldn't be that good. So we're just going to go ahead and cultivate. We have so few lands left in our library. Kavu Climber's on top now. Go to 28. And we end our turn. So we have 2 red creatures, so even if they manage to kill one, like... I think we're in pretty good shape. 4 cards. Kavu Climber is what they get. I don't really have a choice. Yeah. I mean, they could have gotten a land, I guess, but I don't know why they would. This is a grindy game, my friends. Yeah, no attack. Damn it. Okay. Well, there goes our Courser, who was definitely a big part of why we were still kicking. So I'll play Kavu Climber here. That's a good series of draws there. And I'll play... we don't want to do that, though, actually. We'll just empty our hand here. Yeah. We'll end our turn. Who knows what morph that is. Okay, so we're blocked with Emberweaver. Ooh. That hurts. Okay. That's a problem. Okay. I was going to say we have so few lands left in our library to draw that I'm hoping... I think we have 2 left in the 13 cards, so we should draw a bunch of spells, basically. We'll take this 5. Okay, there's a spell. All right, we will end our turn. Okay, I think I'm going to throw an Elf Warrior in front of that. And then kill Zulaport Cutthroat at the end of their turn, because that could create some serious problems later on. Especially if they have something like Phyrexian Ghoul buried deep within their deck. Okay, Kindle. Now I wish I'd used that outrage on something else, but hey, Kindle can kill something. Like that, for example. Okay. Well, will they deck themselves or run out of time or manage to kill us? Because I don't think we can kill them. Those are the ways we're gonna win. Okay. We definitely block the climber with our self-assembler. If they try to use a trick, oh, Kindle won't actually work there, will it? No. So let's just block it with our climber. Okay. Go to 15. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, we still had that land. It was only showing us basics earlier, so we have both our rugged prairies. Last we looked, we had both our rugged prairies in our deck. Interesting. So I think I'd rather just use Kindle on that thing. We'll chump block this and Kindle that. We are running out of dudes, though, quickly. Whew. Thank you. That's just what the doctor ordered for keeping us from running out of dudes. We tapped too much mana, but you know what? We're going to use it anyway, so... Alright. So we can get back Courser, which isn't a bad plan. Nor is Ember Weaver. Courser can block these things pretty well. Ember Weaver can block the Abomination really well. Yeah, I think those are the best choices. Oh, should not have played that land first, but what are you going to do? So... yeah, we'll play Ember Weaver. And we'll also play Courser of Kruphix. And hey, there's a land on top of our library. So that's part of why we shouldn't have played a land first. At a minimum, though, we could have gained 1 life, and we didn't, so... All right, let's give this another whirl. Blocking it with Ember Weaver. Murder. Yeah, and we don't have the mana to flip this. Well done, sir. Well done. We'd been more careful about leaving the mana up earlier, but we forgot about it there. All right, so they know we have a land in our hands, so might as well play it. Still think they're going to have a hard time killing us within the next minute and the next 2 cards in their library, but I could be wrong. Some removal would make a big difference. Another Twisted Abomination makes a difference too. All right. We'll take it. Play this Rugged Prairie. Go back up to 12. cast Crows and Tusker. All their creatures do 1 except for the 2 abominations, so it's very hard for them to kill us. All right. Attack with everything. Nah, maybe not. Okay, so you're going to block here. You're going to block here. I'm going to throw you in front of one of the abominations. I'm going to throw you in front of one of the abominations. You'll kill that. You'll kill this. And that means 4. Yeah, so I wish I could flip this into something relevant. Okay, well, they might be able to kill us. Ooh, that Ambassador Oak is going to help, though. We go to 9. Oh, but it's not in our hand yet, so how is it going to help? So they attack with everything. I think we still managed to survive. Let's find out. So our best creatures, you're going to block there. I guess Courser of Kruphix has basically outlived her utility. And you'll block here, and we take 1, 2, 3. We take 5 and go to 4. Ooh. Is that enough for lethal? No, not yet. Yeah, he's gonna beat me. Oh wait, we can swing for lethal. And he runs out of cards. We're good. We're good, you guys. We're good. That was a close one. And a very grindy. I was like, it's a good thing I didn't just concede there and actually looked at the board state, but all right. So we won that one. Let's see if we can win our third match too. Maybe a little more quickly than the 51 minutes this one apparently took. All right, we will play first. And problem with Rugged Prairie is we need a mountain or a plains to power it. But if we draw any other lands, well, never mind. We have mountain cycling, so we're set. This is a good hand. We don't get to play any of this stuff on turn 1, which is what we would like to do, but what are you going to do? Our mana is pretty much set. Okay, that's interesting. I think I play Arbor Elf. Rather play it on turn 1, but I think playing it there is good because it sets up potential other things. Okay, well, it didn't really set up anything, but there was a chance that it would, okay? So we're going to do this, untap target forest, and then this, and we're going to do mountain cycling. Grab a mountain, play a mountain, and play Frenzied Goblin. And end our turn. If we draw land, we can play Self-Assembler already, so that's good news. Ire Shaman face up. Okay. We do draw land. I think we attack with our Goblin. Obviously, we'll trade all day with Ire Shaman with her Frenzied Goblin. We're not making anything. Unable to block. Okay, yeah. So our opponent thinks we're a really aggressive deck that actually cares about our Frenzied Goblin, and I think that's good news. That's because that's not really our plan. in fact, Frenzy Goblin may be sort of out of place. Because now we're about to play a Self-Assembler and grab another one, so... Our other Rugged Prairie, huh? Okay. We can attack with both. I think we do. Before we play another Self-Assembler. In for 5. And yeah, Self-Assembler. Nope. Off to a good start, that's for sure. We can kill anything they play that gets in our way and keep smashing with our assembly workers. Okay, well, they could also kill our guy, I guess. That's what they want to do. So we still don't have black, so I'm a little reluctant to just cast Krozen-Tusker, but I might do it anyway. Because he is, in fact, huge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have the mana if we use our elf. So let's attack with Self-Assembler. We're going to draw Baloth Null next, I know it. Yeah, and we'll play the Tusker. We have lethal on board, especially with the help of Lightning Bolt. Yeah, we got there. All right, that was definitely a quick win. Hopefully this match won't be 50 plus minutes. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the deck we want to roll with here again. Probably end up never using the aggro version that we took a look at. I just have so much more fun playing a deck like this. And fun is important, yeah, I mean, I don't force this deck so much, but I value cards that go towards a strategy more than I think a lot of people would. I don't know if everyone would have did what I did when they saw 2 Swords to Plowshares back to back. I don't know if everybody would have said, all right, we're splashing white, we're putting Cultivate back in, we're putting, we're turning into a slower deck for power, because we were basically an aggro deck at that point. We had a few pieces that could be put in, but so you could sort of say I forced it, but it's 2 Swords to Plowshares, and have they been incredible for us? Yeah, they have been. So is Baloth Null. He's done some work. He helped us. He really helped us win that last game in the last minute. That was scary. Yeah, if we hadn't drawn something like Baloth Null or another Ambassador Oak, we would have been dead. Or staying, actually. He would have done well. It's nice we have 3 creatures that bring an extra body with them, and then Self-Assembler slowly brings another body with it. So it's been nice. All right, we have another slow hand, but I think it's a keeper. We don't actually have a way to activate Rugged Prairie, but Cultivate will get us our mountain, so we're okay. Yeah, turn 3 Cultivate, turn 4 Ambassador Oak, turn 5 Self-Assembler. So we may take some damage early. Not from that, though. So that works for me. I wonder if they cited that in thinking, again, that we're a more aggressive deck. Wouldn't be sad if that's why they did it, because we're not. Okay, so yeah. So we're going to cast Cultivate. We can actually play Self-Assembler next turn thanks to Cultivate. That might be what we do. Definitely need a mountain. And, yeah, we'll grab a forest. I'll grab 2 mountains, apparently. We have another forest in our hand anyway. End our turn. Okay, yeah, so self-assembler time. No assembly required because he does it himself. It's pretty nice. Wish everything did that. Right, end our turn. Oh, is he gonna get dead? He is. That's okay. Interesting. So do we play another assembler and just like, if they have another edict, it's whatever? I think that's kind of where I stand here. Wonder what that face down creature is. Could have death touch. But decided not to attack with it, so we'll never know. At least not anytime in the very near future. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we could just cast him again. Yeah, let's just cast him. I'm scared to use Epic Confrontation until our opponent is like doesn't have 1,000 mana up. You know, I'll cast it if they have 2 or 3 up. Otherwise, it doesn't really seem worth it. Okay, so I think we attack with the Tusker, see what happens. They can double block and kill it, but that's fine. Given the amount of action we have in our hand, that is just fine. We could attack with both. Yeah, let's attack with both. That is an interesting... They may have Disfigure or something that they just haven't cast yet. I would not expect that. Okay, so I'm going to play this Frenzied Goblin. Help us get around these annoying blockers. And also play... I think play... Yeah, we'll play Ambassador Oak. Something's going to die. Yeah, Skeletonize, okay. And they get their token. And Disfigure the Goblin. Okay. Well, they're running out of gas, though, and we still have a decent amount in our hand. What is this? Does it have Death Touch? Alright, well, we're going to find out. How about that? Epic Confrontation on the Morph. They have 1,000,000 mana up, but they only have 1 card in their hand, so I'm a little more willing to risk it. Anok Survivalist. Are they splashing green? Because otherwise that seems really weird. Okay, so we'll attack with these 2 guys. The Elf Warrior, I mean, obviously they can just regenerate, so we don't really want that. And we'll play another Ambassador Oak. Just keep coming at them. Okay. Well, there's the green that would have helped them flip their... Right on time, yeah. Would have helped them flip their Anok Survivalist to kill our Self-Assembler. Nasty 2-for-1 if he blocks here and then flips it to kill that. Man of War. Well, I guess you bounce. I would have bounced the Assembler because I don't have any more, and he knows that. He should know that. Unless I'm tricking him. Okay, so we will kindle the Man of War out of the way. Get out of here. Man of War. And I think we just attack with everything. We lose our Elf Warrior, who cares, you know? That means they're taking almost lethal if they decide to block the Elf Warrior. Could have murder or something like that. Certainly. Wonder how many prisms they have. Because, yeah, they're splashing a couple things. We just need to draw our Baloth Null, you know? It's shown up almost every game. And we could cast it. Yeah, they probably have a murder. Why murder the smaller creature? Interesting. Their hand's empty now. I think we empty ours too and play Ember Weaver. If they draw a land there, they're pretty much dead, and they did. All right, so match 3 was only 14 minutes long, so hopefully that makes up for the 55-minute one. But deck was a lot of fun. It was grindy. I loved splashing all those colors to play powerful cards. It's my kind of magic. So see you guys, I think, for one more of these. Well, more than one of these, but one more consecutive day of these. And then we're going to go back to 2 drafts a week because it's real life time. So thanks for watching.